Hello, everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode, we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about a ton of great comics. We have a packed new comics list to listen to and to dig into. So we are going to start off with the Mortal Thor. So we are at issue 10 of the Mortal Thor. And, oh, there we go, Will. There we go. Showing off this beautiful cover.
Issue 10,
so
but then legacy number what? Legacy number?
798.
No, come on. 796.
796.
Ah, man, we're so close, so close.
Yeah.
But, guys, I'm going to give a quick little synopsis here, but quick first impressions. We'll go around the horn here. Faz, what did we think of first impressions of Mortal Thor number 10?
I mean, the Mortal Faz loves the Mortal Thor, and I love the street level stuff. I like that he's being forced to outthink literally every villain, and sometimes you just gotta go upstairs, man. And that's a good time. Sometimes 22 pages of going upstairs is a lot of fun.
22 pages of going upstairs. That feels like a euphemism for something. Will, what did you think, first impressions of our latest issue of Thor's ongoing?
Well, Sigurd got his hammer back, and he knows how to wield it, a bungee cord and all. And so now that when we talked with Al Ewing and the ideas that came behind the bungee cord and the hammer, is even extra special reading this and knowing what the idea is behind it. So I really love it. The art is, I know from the very beginning we were like, oh man, how is this going to fit into the overall lore and the comic, the legendary art that's been a part of Thor? But man, it's hitting its stride, and I love every panel.
Eric, we broke down Mortal Thor 9, and we were looking forward to Sigurd doing his best diehard Final Fantasy tower run kind of thing. And so we had kind of high expectations for what this was going to feel like. First impression, did it fit the feeling we thought it would have?
This absolutely delivered. I think we were right on with anticipating where this was headed, and it was so satisfying. It was so nice to see and I think it was it Will that somebody said it was like the tower is also like a maze and the Minotaur is at the center of the labyrinth.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of what we're getting, this whole thing leading up to the big boss battle. It felt like a video game. It felt like action packed the whole time.
Yeah, agreed. This issue was truly action from beginning to end. We've had a lot of these recently, and it's been fun to see Sigurd kind of figure out things and how to go against these villains. This one is straight action from beginning to end. So let's dig into the synopsis of this issue and a little bit of the details, and we'll kind of just jump around and we'll tell you what we enjoyed, what we took away from Mortal Thor 10 as we inch closer and closer to Thor 800 in just a matter of weeks. It feels like we're so close. So this issue is called Come at the King. That's just a badass title of an issue. Written by Al Ewing, art by Pascal Ferry, colors by Matt Milla, letters by BC's Joe Sabino, the lettering god, and cover by Alex Ross. Beautiful Alex Ross cover with Sigurd punching one of the serpent soldiers through like a poster, like a propaganda poster. Fantastic cover. This issue really simply is what we've already said, but just to reiterate it, it's Sigurd going to the top of the Roxxon building. So he sneaks in through some security. He gets past a few of the henchmen. He takes out a guy with a Gatling gun, which is fantastic. And then we finally see the Grey Gargoyle reemerge. The Gargoyle comes in as one of Blake's henchmen. We see Blake watching on a security cam the entire time, and the Grey Gargoyle traps Sigurd in a staircase where he's like, I'm going to touch you. And Sigurd's like, hell if you are, man. He's like, you ain't touching
No one touches me except that girl in the last issue.
Except all the girls who have been thirsting after me hard in this run. So we get some really good, solid action where Sigurd outsmarts the Grey Gargoyle and leaves him literally in shambles at the end. Then Sigurd goes all the way to the top because he's just a man with a hammer who's going all the way to the top to the penthouse. And he's all throughout this issue, he's mumbling in Norwegian, like these like Norwegian little bits and phrases. And he's standing outside of Dario Agger's penthouse office. And Dario says, hey, by the way, I can hear you out there. Why don't you come on in and essentially get the ass whooping that's coming to you? And we go inside of the office, and there Dario is, all Minotaured out. And like, I will say this, Pascal Ferry did a phenomenal job on the Minotaur. But that's where we're left at the end of this issue. Heavy on the action, learning some things about Faz tonight. But Faz, well, let's start off with you, man. First impressions, where do you want to start with your thoughts on Mortal Thor number 10?
I loved it. I've been loving all of these. The constant action that Al's been doing is so much fun because he's kind of like a thinking man's Thor writer, you know? Like, we get like long, drawn out expositional ideas. And then sometimes he just goes, for 4 issues, we're beating shit up, and it's going to be real cool. And you're going to remember that I also nail the action stuff. And it's just so fun. Like, the guys being like, I surrender. And like all the fighting back and forth, like the murders, although, you know, none of them are actually dead. We hear them in awe afterwards.
They're gonna be fine.
So
They're
much
losing
fun.
some teeth. That's okay.
Now, is the Grey Gargoyle, is he French? Is he like Cajun?
Yeah.
Is he Quebecois? What's his background?
Okay. Explain what Quebecois is.
Is he a French Canadian? Is what I want to know.
No, he's full French.
All right, well then I don't care. If he was French Canadian, I'd feel really bad for him, but you know, that's fine.
He's like, he's
the
perched at
Wormsicker
the top
beating
of
up
Notre
French.
Dame. He's a Notre Dame. He's all at the top of Notre Dame. I think that's where he came from. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Misfall is all the way French.
He's a French chemist, and it's because the formula turned red instead of blue.
I forgot. Yeah. And
Hate
he's
when that
Parisian,
happens.
so like he deserves everything that comes to him. That makes sense.
Where is he on the villain tier? Where is he?
Parisian
on the
listeners, I apologize for my
I know.
rank
Wow.
colleague here.
Our devoted French listeners.
Smash that like button.
Subscribe if you love Paris.
If you, like Vaz, think most people in Paris can go straight to hell. Oh my God.
And you Parisians, if you want to convince us that you're good people too, smash that like button, subscribe, join us on
Parisians.
Patreon. We'd love to have you there.
If you want to convince me otherwise. Gosh, that would be the crazy thing. It's like, you hear about that Thor podcast that got taken down because everybody in France just commented it?
No. Most people in France also hate Parisians, specifically Paris, that we need to be worried about.
I was like, this is for making me wait in line for the Mona Lisa last summer.
No, I had an amazing time in Paris because it was the Olympic year, so nobody was there yet, and everything was clean and beautiful, and there were no lines. Best time ever. Loved Paris.
The Seine was clean.
The Seine was clean. It didn't even smell.
Interesting. That doesn't seem like
I'm going to
it
France
checks
this
out,
summer,
but-
just FYI, to Nice. If anybody wants to meet me there.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah,
No, it's Nice.
Nice.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Yes, of course.
Got him.
Got him. That joke. Smash that like button. Get Patreon. More way.
Now, Will, when you're in Nice, are you going to take day trips around the area or focus in Nice the whole time?
Well, Cindy has a really good friend that lives over there. We've been over there a couple of times, and so we go visit with them and go to the beaches around. But then we may swing back around and hit the West Coast and then Spain. So there's a whole European journey after Iceland. So yeah, I want some knuckle folks. It's gonna be fun.
Is Cindy the name of your spouse or your mistress? Or both, maybe, perhaps? Okay. Wow, that was one of my
See what the Grey Gargoyle makes us do, y'all. I mean, that's exactly. We don't want to be touched. We were touched. Went down a road. We were touched.
You are rock hard. Eric, where do you want to start off with your thoughts, takeaways on Mortal Thor? Again, straightforward issue, but there are quite a few things in here where it's like, oh my gosh, we're leading to that. Did anything catch your eye?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love the Grey Gargoyle as a character because I love his blue dishwashing gloves with the palms cut out and his little mask and Speedo that he's got, but you can't tell because he's made out of rock. I love how Sigurd is embracing the 80s action hero role. And he even is becoming self-aware of this too, because he says, what is the American? And then he figures it out. Nice of you to drop in. Cause he's he's intentionally doing these one-liners now. So he gets it. And speaking of one-liners, one of the lines that I texted Faz after I read it was when Voorhees goes, you must get up close and personal, touching distance. Yeah. I love touching distance. And then the Grey Gargoyle gets absolutely wrecked, fingers broken. He's like, those will probably reattach. I'm probably still fine. And then it just gets worse from there.
Oh my gosh.
Just domination from a regular dude with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like you gotta love to see the like, you touch me and I die. Well, you better not touch me then.
We talked about this a lot when we did issue 9, but like he's action hero that Eric's talking about, like the John McClane of it all. He's just a normal dude, and he is just taking down the bad guys. I love when the guys show up with the Gatling gun, and they're like, he says it's too late. We can do this the easy way. And he's like, he just says "Fane," which I'm assuming is Norwegian for fine. And then he just kicks this guy straight in the crotch.
Yeah.
Like there's a baseball
I made
slide.
a note. I made a note of the nut shot.
Baseball slide. Like it's brutal, but it's like a thing. It's like the one scene in that action movie you would remember. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, the guns and the jumping and the kicking and fine. Remember when he baseball slid into that guy's freaking wang and it was just ended the fight? Like, dude, that
Freaking
was
wang.
sick. Will Fane.
Fane
Is
is
that a-
Norwegian for the hell. So he's like, what the hell?
Well, that's so much better.
Because I translated all of the things, and there's nothing
Eric
that's like,
will always translate.
it's just everyday expressions. There's nothing like, there's no secret that you have to know to reveal the issue. But yeah, that specifically translates into the hell.
The hell. Oh my God. This is so much better.
Yeah, I made note. Yeah, I loved it too. I made note of the, like, what does the American say? I really could have used a yippee-ki-yay motherfucker in there too.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that would have been maybe too on the nose. They avoided that. But I do like that one panel where he's kicking him off the railing. It was like, pow. And he's like, no, it gives me like this 300 vibes, like that scene in 300.
Yeah.
Where he kicks the guy in the
The rock's on.
Yeah.
This is
And he's going to give me the 300 vibes. And yeah, even like the sound effects and, you know, what Josephino did in terms of the elevator, you hear the ping, he keeps going up and working his way up to the very, very top. And it is a labyrinth maze all the way to the top. So he's gotten through so many villains as just kind of street level action here, normal human, not super powered, just a hammer and a bungee cord. I'm very curious what happens next. You kind of saw that he was going to win along the way. We're not going to kill him off anytime soon, but like, what is this next? What is 797 going to be? I'm really a great last panel cliffhanger that's gonna keep you coming back to these comics and why I read these things. But I'm very curious of what's next.
I do love, on Will's note of like this being a labyrinth all the way to the top. I do love that also to piggyback off of what Eric said about, you know, Grey Gargoyle being back, like being a great character. I love how we leave Mr. Duvall at the end of this, where he's laying in a pile of rubble and he says, "Is anyone there? I landed real bad, guys.
You shot
It hurt.
me in the leg. Why would you do that?"
I'm so cold. It's getting colder." But then he says, "Guys, I'm gonna turn back in an hour, please." And no one can hear him, but they just know he's gonna transform. And it's
No,
gonna be like,
no,
"Oh,
Ryan. It's actually worse than that. People can hear him. They just don't care.
Right.
oh right, because Blake can hear him."
Blake can hear him. Yeah, he's there and he's like, "Oh, you
That's
failed
so
me for the
clever.
last time, Gargoyle."
But yeah, he totally does a Vader on him, where he's like, "You've disappointed me for the last time."
Yeah.
We do see Blake in his gooey eye holes again. The
Yeah.
return of the gooey sockets.
We get even more on some covers coming up here in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. Is it cover 12?
12.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's one word for it. Yeah. Phenomenal's one word for that. Yeah.
Okay,
Nightmare
how would you
inducing.
describe it?
Disgusting. Mildly
Oh.
erotic. So many names.
So much goo, so much delicious goo. So, guys, going around for our anticipation for what's going to happen next, I want to read the short solicitation that is very Dario focused, and then we'll just go Faz, Will, Eric around. Like, what are we looking forward to? What parts are we really anticipating paying off as we, like I said, continue this road to 800? And we've now seen all the covers and the solicitations for up to 800. Like, I wouldn't say the covers give away a ton, but like there is some really cool stuff happening on the way there. So here we go. The solicitation for the next issue is Horns of the Minotaur. Dario Agger doesn't remember the gods of Asgard. He doesn't remember what it is about Sigurd Jarlsson that irritates him. But when Dario Agger is irritated with a man or a god, he has one simple solution: murder. Somewhere in the city, a man with a hammer has nowhere to go but down. Again, tagline to an 80s action movie.
Yeah.
Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as the Gargoyle. That, going forward, anticipation, where are your eyes looking when it comes to Mortal Thor 11 and beyond?
So I'm actually, as much as I'm excited for the Minotaur versus the Mortal Thor, I'm locked in on August. Don't know where we go after 800. We know that Mortal Thor is 25 issues long because we were told that by the Allfather himself on this podcast. Listeners, viewers, if you haven't listened to that one of the best things we've ever done. Please go check that out. But the beginning of the end happens in 800. And I'm so excited to see what he does, if only because that's probably the best cover that Alex Ross has done on Immortal and Mortal so far. It is mind-blowingly good. I just like that right there, that moment, the 800 where we see where we're going with this run and the purpose of this Mortal Thor becomes clear. I cannot wait. And I also can't wait for Blake to fill us in 12 because he's going to tell Sigurd the truth and I don't know how he's going to react.
I mean, fair point. Will, where are we looking? What do your will eyes see?
So we've had a lot of action-packed comics the last few issues of Thor. I will not mind if the first quarter of the next comic, first half of the comic, is them like really getting deep and having conversation and asking questions and unveiling what is going on here behind all this. And so I really want to see some exposition. If there's a lot of words on the page, I can't wait. I want to see Ewing do his magic with crafting some really significant sentences. And so that's kind of what I want in the next one. I mean, if it's action-packed, cool, but we've got a lot here. If the first half is nothing but them in a room talking and unveiling what behind it all, I'm there.
Now, for those of you that are not familiar with people from North Carolina, that was Will's way of saying, like, gee golly, that British guy sure does rock it.
Significant sentences. Significant sentences.
Lots of good sentences. Eric, what are we looking forward to?
Oh my gosh. So, first of all, last little Easter egg, the cover, the propaganda poster, that was actually an ad in Roxxon Presents Thor. That's a full page ad. So that we've seen that imagery before.
Chad Hammer.
Chad Hammer.
What I think is going to happen, I absolutely agree with Will. I think it's been action. We're going to get some talking. I think that Blake is hinting at he's only playing the role under Dario, but he's actually more powerful than Dario.
Yeah.
And so I think Dario is going to try to kill Sigurd. Blake wants the soul from Sigurd first before he dies, and that Blake might actually intervene and take out Dario so that him and Sigurd can square off. So I think that Dario is going to be out of the picture. I think it's going to rhyme with the Kemur, the bull, and the Labyrinth kind of a thing, because we're kind of getting the same thing now, but with the Mortal Thor instead. And so Kemur didn't last very long. I think we're going to have a similar confrontation with the Minotaur. So that's my thought.
Ewing does famously hate kings. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the idea of Blake being like it's like, oh, you think I work for him?
Yeah.
Newsflash.
Daddy doesn't work for anybody.
Daddy's home.
Oh, he's about to take the bull out to pasture.
That's right.
Oh, I'll take the bull
eyes
as
of this
much as I
snake.
need.
Look into the eyes of this snake.
So you guys have all given really great, really well thought out answers of what you want going forward. I want one thing out of the next issue, and it is minuscule at best. One might even say it's non-essential for everybody else, but it's essential for me.
Oh, you're going to ask for Ulick, aren't you?
Always. But like, I can only email Al so many times with that one message.
The Minotaur's going to take off the mask and goes, oh, you look the whole time.
That was Ulick the whole time.
I would have gotten away with it if it was one of these stupid construction workers.
Ever since Jason Aaron's run, it's been me.
But was Eric referenced in our tier list that's coming up, features Ulick, where he puts on the shades and the 3-piece suit? Like, he instantly just does like a wardrobe change because we need him to look like, Ulick is, big pimping or something like that. I need this to happen in the next issue when Sigurd and the Minotaur square off. I need the bungee cord to somehow factor into Dario's horns and him being thrown from the building. I know it sounds really random, and it's like, why would you focus in on
so
that?
specific?
Like, yeah. Okay. I know. I have a feeling that that'll be like, because Sigurd's resourceful. Sigurd can't like just man up and fight the Minotaur one-on-one. So I have a feeling the bungee cord is going to be part of the way where he defeats the Minotaur. And I
He's gonna bungee
have
jump.
this
He's gonna
visual in my
bungee jump
head.
off this building. Is that what you're saying? He's gonna bungee jump off this building.
He's gonna be hanging
Why
from the
not?
horns, bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, because the Minotaur is so much more imposing than the other villains we've already seen. Like, come on, let's do some cool stuff with the hammer and the bungee cord.
Are we gonna get like a Batman Begins moment where like he's holding them by the horns and the Minotaur's like, "You can't kill me," and then Sigurd goes, "Well, I don't have to save you," and just lets them fall? Is that what we're gonna get?
I'm not gonna lie. If that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
Oh, that's so
I
funny.
am not wearing hockey pads.
Well, I've been messaging Ryan about my expectation of Mando and Grogu and the things I want to see in the
Stop,
movie,
Will.
and he's like, "Will, stop it, just enjoy the movie." I think Ryan's getting really specific in the next comic. I think you let it.
Well,
Ryan's
this
at
is you repaying me the intervention that I've been giving you. But guys, this is another great issue, another lot of action. I'm glad we got to discuss this. And can't wait to see what happens at 11 and 12, and then 800 is going to be here before we know it. We have so much more to look forward to. Baz, could you tell people real quick how they can reach out to us, how they can connect with us, and we'll hop on out of here onto our next issue.
We have a very active Instagram account, so you can always check in with us there. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube, and we're breaking it out that way. We've got a Patreon. We've got a Discord if you really want to be in with the sickos, the guys who love Thor like we do. We have a lot of places. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Herc. You can reach out to Ryan. You can reach out to Chilliam. We're all pretty approachable, I like to think. We're all great people. And if you want to talk Thor, we'd love to have you around. Will's the least approachable. He's got that air of he's as a pastor, it's his job to be approachable. So I think it's funny. He used to just be arm's length, Yeah.
As he rolls off of screen. Oh my God, that was so good, Will. So good. Oh, he took that shit personal.
I don't think so. I think this is like when you kept leaving after we roasted you, Ryan. That's all.
I bet, guys, I'm very approachable. I'm very
approachable.
I'm almost too approachable.
We're all so approachable.
I'll touch you and turn you to stone. Stone touch. Stone touch.
Don't make me hammer the back of your knee. I'll hammer the back of your knee.
Oh my God.
So approachable as stone touch. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Paz is right though. We would love to connect with you and talk comics with you, talk Thor. Discord's a really great place to interact.
And if you chime in on the comments on YouTube, we will answer back and like it or
oh my gosh,
it.
yes, comments on YouTube is what I live for right now.
Oh, and also if you guys review us, I will read it on the podcast.
So lots of stuff there. But everybody, thank you so much for checking out this review of Mortal Thor number 10. So whether you are racing all the way to the top, whether you are fighting against bulls, serpents, gargoyles, whatever you find yourself encountering on the labyrinth all the way to the top, or whether you're just like holding off until like a really big milestone and you're just like, I don't know what's going to happen when we get there, but probably something cool and something big. No matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, just remember to do one thing, and that is stay worthy.